are back for another video within the Spanish series. I appreciate everybody's continued support. I would I would hate to gloss over that. The continued support for this channel in the form of subscribers and views is not something I take for granted at all. As these videos continue to come out, if there are videos that you enjoy, please do subscribe. Share with anybody else that you know likes ASMR, or just leave them a like, because that promotes the algorithm to send them on to other people. Now, with that little plug out of the way, I guess you could say, we're going to go ahead and get into the topic of today's, or the theme of today's video, and that's going to be driving. I just thought it would be something fun and different and functional within the Spanish series, and there's a couple different words. You can say manejar or conducir as words for driving. So really what we're going to unpack today is just a variety of different vocabulary words related to driving, safety, just different key vocabulary words within that realm. And then, so I guess to start out, we'll start out with the directions. So you've got north, which is norte, south, which is sur, east, which is, actually I gotta double check, I just blanked, it happens. Yeah, I knew I was overthinking it. Este is also the word for this in Spanish, so I had a second where I was like, wait, is that the right word? But it is, we're good. Este, so it's all about context. And west, which is oeste. So, north, south, east, west, norte, sur, este, oeste. Obviously, whenever you're going to go for a drive, you're going to have a car. And in Spanish, that will be el carro, or I've also seen it, el coche. And I think that the usage depends on, just what part of the world that you're in. Let's see, what else? Next we'll do driver. And sometimes this is used like as a limo driver or something like that, but driver is el conductor. El conductor. Headlights. So we'll just name some features of the car itself. Las luces altas. Headlights. The horn. That's going to be la bocina. La bocina. License. Like your driver's license. La licencia de conducir. So, pretty straightforward. Driving. The license of driving. Driver's license. La licencia de conducir. Your blinker. La luz de emergencia. La luz de emergencia. A seatbelt. That's going to be el cinturón, which is belt, as you remember, de seguridad. So literally that's the belt of safety. Seatbelt. El cinturón de seguridad. Steering wheel. El timón. sometimes your turn signal is a different word that I'd like to clarify because I don't want to get these two confused. And that's going to be, your turn signal is going to be el pide vías. El pide vías. If you have somebody in the car with you, a passenger, el pasajero or la pasajera. If it's a woman with you, la pasajera. And then we'll call out, so some people love to say shotgun in the car, which is the front seat. Shotgun is el copiloto, aptly named el copiloto. And if you don't get shotgun, you're stuck in the back seat, and that's going to be el asiento trasero. El asiento trasero. Alright, and we'll continue on. So as you're driving along, if you hit a dead end, that's going to be el callejón de, or no, excuse me, sin, without, salida. El callejón sin salida. Sin salida. Of course, there's the road itself, and that's going to be la carretera. Carretera. Sound it out. Carretera. Street. Going to be la calle. La calle. If you are driving in your lane, if you're driving in your lane, that's going to be el carril. El carril. And as you're driving along, obviously you want to follow the speed limit. And that's going to be el límite de velocidad. The limit of speed. Speed limit. Now sometimes, as you're going along, you might hit some road work. And that would be trabajos en carretera. Trabajos en carretera. And sometimes because of that road work, you'll hit traffic. And traffic is el tránsito. Tránsito. El tránsito. Sometimes you just need to take a road trip. And a road trip is el viaje por carretera. El viaje por carretera. As you're driving along on a road trip, you might run out of gas, and you might need to stop in at a gas station. And at a gas station, you will stop in at la gasolinera. And there is not an acento. I wanted to double check there wasn't an accent mark. If you're somewhere a little bit more rural, you might encounter a railroad crossing. And that's going to be el cruce. So the crossing de ferrocarril. El cruce de ferrocarril. Now, as you're driving, you also want to be aware of pedestrians and things like that. So as you come up to the intersection, which is la intersección, you want to be aware of the crossroads. And that's going to be la encrucijada. La encrucijada. encrucijada. And definitely, as you're driving along, you want to be aware of one-way streets because you don't want to be driving the wrong way on a one-way street. And that's going to be la calle, so the street de una vía. La calle de una vía. And if you need to take a pit stop or you reach your destination, sometimes if you're in the city, you might need the parking lot. And that's going to be el estacionamiento. Say that 5 times fast. El estacionamiento. Going back to the crosswalks, I mentioned pedestrians. We have to watch out for them. That is el peatón. El peatón. The pedestrian. And you might find the pedestrian leading up to the crosswalk on the sidewalk. And the sidewalk is going to be la acera. La acera. And sometimes in pedestrian areas, high pedestrian areas, are a lot of kids, you'll see a speed bump. A speed bump. And that's la banda de frenado. La banda de frenado. And so we talked about driving on the road, the carretera. I'll go ahead and highlight a difference for a few different roads. If you're on the highway, that will be considered la autopista. La autopista. If you're going from state to state on the interstate, that's going to be la interstatal. La interstatal. And sometimes when you go between states or on the interstate, you'll encounter a toll road. And that's la carretera de peaje. La carretera de peaje. One other feature I'll mention is sometimes, especially on interstates or state to state, they're cut off by a waterway. And that waterway is crossed with a bridge. And a bridge is going to be el puente. El puente. As you're driving, especially on the interstate, you're going to be looking at signs. And sign is la señal with the tilde. La señal. Other specific signs, like a guide sign, I'll put this next to it. A guide sign is going to be las señales de guía. Las señales de guía. Didn't mention this earlier, and I meant to. A traffic light. Traffic light is el semáforo. El semáforo. El semáforo. If you're driving and you see a sign, do not enter. That would be no entrar. If you want to turn the steering wheel, you could say girar or doblar. And then to turn right, a la derecha. And to turn left, a la izquierda. A la derecha and a la izquierda. If you see a stop sign, it's going to be la señal de alto. La señal de alto. Ceder el paso. Ceder el paso. Let's see, I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I want to include. Oh, if you're driving too fast, you might get a ticket. And a ticket is la multa. La multa. And then I mentioned traffic earlier being el tránsito. But that is, if you hit a traffic jam, that has a name for itself, and that's el atasco. El atasco. And I think that is everything I wanted to cover. So we've gotten a good, almost, probably 40 vocabulary words there. Maybe 50. So again, to review, the directions north, norte, south, sur, east, este, west, oeste. Car, el carro or coche. Driver, el conductor. Headlights, las luces altas. Horn, la bocina. License, la licencia de conducir. Blinker, la luz de emergencia. Again, those are like your flashers. Seatbelt, el cinturón de seguridad. Steering wheel, el timón. Turn signal, el pidevías. Passenger, el pasajero. Shotgun, el copiloto. Backseat, el asiento trasero. Dead end, el callejón sin salida. Road, la carretera. Street, la calle. Lane, el carril. Speed limit, el límite de velocidad. Roadwork, trabajos en carretera. Traffic, el tránsito. Road trip, el viaje por carretera. Gas station, la gasolinera. Railroad crossing, el cruce de ferrocarril. Intersection, la intersección. Crossroads, la encrucijada. One-way street, la calle de una vía. Parking lot, el estacionamiento.